Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside Royal Brown Pavilion in Seattle, Washington. We have a game for you tonight, so buckle up, strap in, hold on, do whatever you need to do. The Falcons of Seattle Pacific University tied for second in the GNAC, taking on the nationally ranked number 6 or number 5, depending on which poll you're looking at, the Western Washington Vikings, a rivalry game here as the Vikings located just about 90 miles north of Seattle in Bellingham, Washington. And they come in with a perfect 7-0 GNAC record, 13-1 overall, and they have not lost since their very first game against Azusa Pacific, a team that the Falcons beat the following day, by the way. The Falcons and the Vikings both played a couple of nationally ranked teams from California the weekend before Thanksgiving. That tournament was supposed to take place at Western Washington University. They had to move it to Whatcom Community College because the Vikings volleyball team was hosting a regional. The Vikings women's basketball team last year went to the national championship game, lost that game, but looking to get back there this year. And Carmen Dolfo is in her 32nd year coaching the Vikings and has over 650 wins in her career. She goes with a lineup, both of these teams actually with a pair of sisters in the starting lineup. Vikings lineup features Avery Dykstra, a senior from Everson, Washington, Riley Dykstra, a sophomore from Everson, Washington, Brooke Walling, their best player, and she is in the circle and wins the tip. She's from Vancouver, Washington, national or top 10 in several statistical categories in the GNAC. As the Vikings with the opening possession, Katrina Jamaica, number 20, as that is Mason Oberg that had the ball tapped away momentarily by Ashley Alter. Gets it back. Now Natalie Hoff gets her hands in the passing lane, and now Maya Hoff, her sister, comes in and steals it, and here come the Falcons back the other way. Vikings unable to get a shot up on their first possession. Both of these teams really solid defensively, and you see Brooke Walling right there coming up with another steal going the other way. Here's Walling getting it back, takes it up, puts it in, as she gets around Natalie Hoff and gets to the bucket. Vikings up 2-0. Mentioned Katrina Jamaica, also from Everson, Washington, up near the Canadian border, as Anna Eddy misses badly off the glass, and Natalie Hoff misses just as badly off the glass. Neither of them drew iron, as a little adrenaline here maybe in the early going. Anna Eddy gets a hand in and knocks it away, and now this one is knocked out of bounds by Ashley Alter. Vikings will keep it with a 2-0 lead. Mason Oberg, a redshirt freshman from Vancouver, Washington, and she is having a solid year as a redshirt freshman, averaging nearly 10 points per ball game for the Vikings. As Jim grows quiet here momentarily, this will be Riley Dykstra inbounding to her sister Avery. And now Jamaica with it. Here's a three on the way from the corner, and it rattles home for Avery Dykstra. And the Vikings lead it 5-0. Falcons coached by Mike Simonson, as they just get it across midcourt there, avoiding the over and back call. And Mike Simonson, in his 5th year as the head coach for the Falcons, has had a solid year. This Falcons team has had a solid year. This is the 6th time that they are facing a nationally ranked opponent, and there's a great assist there from Hunter Buren to Anna Eddy cutting to the bucket, and she puts it in to get the Falcons on the board at 5-2. Falcons with, as I mentioned, a couple of sisters in the lineup. Maya Hoff, a sophomore from Beaverton, Oregon, and her sister, a 5th-year player, Natalie, out of Beaverton as well. This one out of bounds is lost out of bounds by the Vikings, and the Falcons will take it back. They also have Hunter Buren, a redshirt sophomore from Mukilteo, Washington. Anna Eddy, a sophomore from Portland, Oregon, who got the bucket a moment ago. And Ashley Alter, a fifth-year player from Stanwood, Washington, which is kind of between Seattle and Bellingham, about equal distance, I would say. Here's Natalie Hoff, and she's blocked by Walling as she could not get around Brooke Walling there. Walling with the block. Here come the Vikings. Oberg puts it up and draws the foul. Mason Oberg will get to the free throw line. These teams both very solid defensively, as the Vikings actually first in rebounding margin in the nation, plus 13.9. They out-rebound their opponents by an average of 13.9 rebounds per game. And they're in the top 10 in the nation in several statistical categories as a team. The Falcons rank fairly high nationally in a few categories as well. This is out of 294 teams in Division II. Falcons are 12th in rebounding margin at plus 8.9, and the Vikings 5 more than that, first in the nation. Here's Maya Hoff going up over Jamaica, puts it in. Maya Hoff gets the Falcons on the board again. 7-4 is your score. And here is Riley Dykstra getting to the bucket and can't connect on the shot. And the Falcons with the rebound coming the other way, down 3. Here's Alter, gets it to Eddy, scoops it up, lays it in, draws the foul. The assist by Ashley Alter, and Eddy had to take it quick as she was right underneath the basket, got it in, and will head to the free throw line. Riley Dykstra commits the foul, and a couple of Viking subs into the game as Maddie Granbois and Truett Riley check in for WWU. Anna Eddy trying to tie up the game, and does from the free throw line. Anna Eddy averaging 10.1 points per ball game and just 42% at the free throw line, but gets that one. Here's Oberg stepping back and leaves that one short from the baseline. And we're tied at 7. Falcons with the ball, trying to take the lead on this possession with just over 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. Here's Natalie Hoff handing off to Ashley Alter. A couple of fifth-year players there for the Falcons. Maya Hoff, and she's going to get called for traveling, as had the post move going there for a second and had the shot blocked. Came back down with it, and Western Washington will take it on the turnover. Out of control. Avery Dykstra loses it out of bounds. And the Falcons will take it back. Skylar Berry checks in for SPU. And Anna Eddy. Now Buren will get it across to Ashley Alter. Here's Eddy for Skylar Berry, right at the bucket, lays it up and in. And the Falcons take the lead 9-7 over the Western Washington Vikings. This is the first of 2 matchups between these teams. They will face off again in Bellingham in about a month, February 18th. And Falcons coming in at 10-5 overall, as that one is up and in from Truett Riley. And we're tied at 9. Falcons in the front court with it. Falcons 10-5 overall, 5-2 in the GNAC, and their 2 losses in GNAC play have been to Alaska Anchorage, as that one wrestled away, and it'll stay with the Falcons. We'll get to a media timeout here. We'll talk a little more about the Falcons' previous GNAC losses when we come back in just a moment on the SPU webcast. 9-9 your score, 4:41 to go first quarter. Good ball game so far. We'll be right back. Back inside Royal Browan Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SP webcast. 9-9 your score so far in this one. Vikings shooting 60% from the floor, and the Falcons shooting 57%. Both teams perfect at the free throw line. Not a lot of rebounds so far. Falcons out-rebounding the Vikings 3-2 in the first 5 minutes and change. Lola Weatherspoon in the game for the Falcons. Gets it into Skylar Berry in the post, and she steps back and leaves it short. Rebound to Riley. Here is Avery Dykstra. And now Mason Oberg will circle it back out. And Dykstra is blocked by Weatherspoon. Walling ends up with it. Vikings maintain possession. Plenty of time still on the shot clock. Walling inside for Riley. Leaves it short. Was possibly blocked slightly there, and now is fouled by Lola Weatherspoon. Lola Weatherspoon from Camas, Washington, went to Union High School. And the Vikings, actually Brooke Walling went to Prairie. It's Mason Oberg went to Union. So a former high school teammate of Lola Weatherspoon. Truett Riley to the free throw line. She's out of Silverton, Oregon. And she sinks both free throws for the Vikings, and they retake the lead 11-9. Truett Riley averaging 7.6 points per ball game, 7.7 rebounds, 81% from the free throw line coming into the game. Vikings by 2. Here's Ashley Alter, a quick three, and that one's off the front rim. And it is Grandboyce being tripped up, coming down with the rebound, and Skylar Berry commits the foul. That's our first. The Vikings will inbound with 3:49 to play in the first quarter, leading by 2. This is Grandboyce. Gets it out to Walling for a three. And that one is all net. 14-9 Vikings. Brooke Walling, a deep three. And she can score from anywhere on the floor at 6'3". She's in the top 10 in the GNAC. Here's Alter right in the middle of the key there. And Berry with the assist. Alter on the board, 14-11. But Walling in the top 10 in the GNAC in scoring, rebounding, assists, and field goal percentage. Here's Avery Dykstra driving and picks up the foul. That's going to go against Hunter Beer, and that'll be her first. Talking before the break about the Falcons being 5-2 in the GNAC and their losses to Alaska Anchorage, and then last Saturday at Montana State Billings, they dropped that one by 17 points, snapping a 4-game winning streak. Vikings have a 13-game winning streak. And Falcons trying to cut into that, or to snap that, rather, as they come up with the steal there. Here's Kiara De Virgilio in the front court for the Falcons. Eddy to Weatherspoon. Weatherspoon trying to get around Walling, and does, but couldn't get the shot to go. And the Vikings taking the rebound down and heading the other way. Alter gets a hand in there. Dykstra ends up on the floor, but no whistle. Vikings maintain possession. They get it in to Riley. It's poked away and held onto by De Virgilio. Falcons will get it back on the alternating possession as Mason Oberg checks back in. And Carly Zaragoza and Riley Dykstra back in. Hunter Beeran returns for the Falcons to take over for Anna Eddy. Both Hoff sisters off the floor along with Anna Eddy. Ashley Alter still out there along with Hunter Beeran. And here's Kiara De Virgilio, a quick three from the corner. That one's off the mark. Rebound to Oberg. And the Vikings the other way with just under 2 to play in the first quarter. They lead by 3, 14-11. As So Zaragoza, she walked with the basketball.
Western Washington.
Falcons will take it back. Vikings have committed a few turnovers here in the first quarter. That is something actually that one thing that they do more than their opponents that is not positive. Here's Alter on a three, and that one splashes down and ties up the game at 14 apiece with 1:30 to go in the first quarter. Ashley Alter, 5 points in the ball game. Vikings actually turn over the ball an average of 2 more times per game than their opponents. But everything else, as they turn it over again there. Everything else, though, pretty much in the statistical categories, they are highly ranked in just about everything. They are solid. As I mentioned, a trip to the national championship game of Division II last year. And largely the same team. Here's Skylar Berry putting it up and in. And the Falcons take the lead again, 16-14. Dykstra for Zaragoza, out for Oberg. And now this is Riley Dykstra again, finding an open shot, and that one misses badly from Stephanie Peterson.
That is Falcon basketball.
And the Falcons will take it back. 43 seconds to go. They lead 16-14. Vikings have not played a single-digit game in a while. They won their most recent game by 20 over Western Oregon. Really, their most impressive wins were on December 29th and December 31st against the Alaska schools. They just pasted both of them. Scored 100 in both of those games and held their opponents in the 50s in both of those games. Dave Virgilio could not get that one up on the rim, and so the Falcons called for a shot clock violation. And Western Washington will get it back, most likely for the final possession of the first quarter, as Oberg is dribbling, gets it out to Riley Dykstra. She's going to run out of time, and the Falcons hold the lead after one, 16-14. We'll step aside on the SBU webcast. Falcons playing well so far in this one, and we'll have the second quarter coming up for you in just a moment on the SBU webcast. Back inside Royal Browan Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SBU webcast. First of two matchups between the SBU Falcons and the Western Washington Vikings. And first quarter, a good one so far. Falcons ahead by 2, 16-14. As the Vikings turned it over 7 times in the first quarter, the Falcons turned it over 3 times. Brooke Walling with 5 points to lead the Vikings. And for the Falcons, 5 points apiece from Ashley Alter and Anna Eddy. Skylar Berry had 4 in that first quarter. And the Vikings the opening possession of the second quarter. Alter guarding Riley Dykstra. And she's able to get the shot up, but it was altered a little bit by Alter. And Falcons come away with the rebound and head the other way. Skylar Berry over to Alter on the left wing. Here's Buren driving. Kicks it back out to Berry. She'll get it back to Buren. Over the top, and Berry able to come down with it. Had it knocked away momentarily. Here's Berry again in the post. And the shot clock running down. De Virgilio steps back, puts it up, puts it in! She got glass on that one. And Kiara De Virgilio with a three. A desperation three to beat the shot clock buzzer. And the Falcons take a 5-point lead, 19-14. Big shot in this game. Still early here.
Into the game for the Falcons, number 2, Maya Hoff.
Maya Hoff and Anna Eddy back in for Weatherspoon and Alter. And the Vikings will have it in the front court, trailing by 5, 19-14. And the Falcons leading by 5 right now. I would say if they can hang in till the end, that's really what they're looking to do, and have a chance to knock off the Vikings. As this one is off the mark, a little long there from Monique Fierke. Here comes Hunter Beeren and feeds it to Eddy. Eddy reverses it and couldn't get it to go, but Eddy ends up with the rebound. The Falcons have really been good on the offensive glass this year. Here's Maya Hoff getting it back out to Beeren with 9 on the shot clock. Beeren in the post for Berry. Berry trying to go around Walling. Hooks it up, and that one rattles out. Walling the rebound. Vikings the other way. Riley Dykstra out to Avery Dykstra. This is Jamaica in the corner for Fierke. Now Walling in the post. They circle it around the perimeter. Fierke had it blocked, and it's tipped out. Jamaica tried to save it, but saves it right to the Falcons, and they come the other way with it. 7:30 to go in the second quarter, and they changed that shot by, I believe it was the shot by De Virgilio that initially was ruled a 3. They put 3 on the board. They took one off, so 18-14 your score. And yeah, they did give 2 points there to De Virgilio. But it was a big shot to beat the shot clock buzzer anyway. This is short from Riley Dykstra, and that one goes out of bounds, and the Falcons will get it back.
For the Falcons, number 30, Natalie Hoff. And for
Natalie Hoff
23, Mason Oberg. And
will
number
check
25,
in.
Maddie Grandboyce, also in for the Falcons. Number 12,
This is
Haley
Marlowe checking in as well.
Falcons will have the basketball.
Marlowe has had the facial protection mask on for the last few games, as the Vikings making some substitutions as well as they get Grandboyce and Truitt in. But Marlowe went out of a game a few weeks ago, and I don't know for sure, but I'm surmising that she ended up breaking her nose, at least getting a serious facial injury anyway. This is a bank shot from De Virgilio, and that is from 3. And Kiara De Virgilio with 5 points now. A couple of long jumpers, that one a 3. 21-14 Falcons. Vikings trying to get into a rhythm on the offensive end. Falcons playing well defensively. And the Vikings have just been a little careless with the ball too, as this is going to be a held ball, and it's going to go to SPU. 5:54 to go, second quarter, and Cameron Dolfo wants a timeout. Falcons lead by 7, 21-14, 5:54 to go, second quarter. We'll be right back on the SPU webcast.
Fans, the first 3-pointer
5:54 to go in the second quarter, and they did actually change that first three from De Virgilio back to a three. They initially ruled it a three, changed it to a two, and reviewed it during the timeout and ruled that it was in fact a three. So De Virgilio with 6 points on a couple of threes. Both have gotten glass for the Falcons, and they lead it now by 8, 22-14. So they add an extra point during the timeout. Was actually scored before the timeout. But this is a nice backdoor pass from Eddie to Alter. And now Natalie Hoff takes about a 15-footer and puts it in, and the Falcons lead by 10, 24-14. Vikings, they are a solid basketball team. They can go on a run at any point in time, but the Falcons playing really well on the defensive end in particular, as that one is knocked out of bounds, and the Vikings will keep it. Oberg will inbound with 5:17 to go in the second quarter to Avery Dykstra. Dykstra steps back, puts it up and in over Alter. And the Vikings on the board for the first time in a little while. 24-16, Avery Dykstra with 5 points. And the Falcons in the front court with possession. Eddie drives and swatted away. That'll be a block shot for Riley Truitt. Riley, rather. As Falcons will keep it with 16 on the shot clock, 4:55 to go in the half. They get it into Alter. And over in the corner, Eddie puts up the shot, and it misses off the rim. Rebound to the Vikings. Riley with possession. So she gets a block and then gets a rebound. And now Haley Marlowe going to pick up a foul.
Foul call against number 12, Haley Marlowe.
With 4:37 to go. 24-16.
Will have the basketball.
Falcons with the lead.
Into the game for the Vikings, number 12,
Stephanie Peterson checks back in for Mason Oberg. And Dykstra will inbound to Granbois. This is Avery Dykstra with it. Gets it out to Riley. And now Peterson goes behind the back. Gives it to Walling. Here's Riley trying to go up over Maya Hoff, and that one was halfway down and popped back out. Falcons the other way. 24-16 they lead. Just over 4 to play here in the second quarter. Maya Hoff, nice move, and couldn't get the bucket to go. But it was a great drop step there to get into the lane and have some space. Just couldn't get the shot to go. Vikings the other way. With under 4 to play in the second quarter. Down by 8, 24-16. Low scoring first half. This is Peterson. And Eddie reaches in and makes some contact with Peterson there. Picks up the foul. Second foul on Anna Eddy. And Hunter Beeren and Lola Weatherspoon come in. And here comes Kiara De Virgilio back in as well.
Number 11, Kiara De Virgilio.
3:39 to go in the second quarter. Granbois gets it in to Avery Dykstra. Avery, the senior, gets it here beyond the arc and puts it up and in from three-point land. And the Vikings cut it to 5, 24-19. Avery Dykstra now with 8 points in the ball game. And the Falcons with possession and a 5-point lead. Beeren lays it up, and that one just rims out. Good drive by Beeren. Got the shot up there. Here's Granbois from 3, and that one is short. Alter with the rebound. Falcons the other way. De Virgilio at the point out of Argentina. To her left, trying to get it in the post for Natalie Hoff, and Stephanie Peterson steps in front and takes it away. Vikings back the other way with under 2:30 to go here in the first half. And that one over the top of Brooke Walling, out of bounds. And the Vikings commit another turnover.
Back into the game for Western Washington will be number 23,
Mason Oberg back in for the Vikings.
25, Maddie Granbois.
And she's in for Granbois. 2:20 to go. 24-19 Falcons. De Virgilio across midcourt. Gets it to Buren. Buren driving. Gets it out to De Virgilio. Another three on the way. That one rims out. And on the floor now, Buren ties up Riley. And this one will go back to the Vikings on the alternating possession. Katrina Jamaica back in
Replacing Avery Dykstra.
for Avery Dykstra. 1:58 to go, first half. A low-scoring ball game. Falcons with the lead, 24-19. They've led through the entire second quarter. They led by 2 going into the second quarter. But neither team has really lit up the scoreboard to any extent so far in this one. And this one out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Vikings. They say the Falcons knocked it out.
Out of bounds.
Oberg to inbound with 10 on the shot clock. Gets it to Jamaica. Guarded by Alter. Here's Oberg now, 4 on the shot clock. Oberg steps back, got a good screen, missed the shot. And the Falcons with the rebound. De Virgilio into the front court for Buren. She's going to hold up for a second. Hand off to Weatherspoon. Weatherspoon drives, and I'm not sure if they said she said they said she stepped out of bounds.
Number 3, Riley Dykstra.
Riley Dykstra back in for the Vikings, checking back in for Truett Riley. And the Vikings with possession down 5. Minute 10 to go here in the second quarter. This is Riley Dykstra. Now Peterson out for Oberg. Another 3 on the way. That one is good. And the Vikings back within 2, 24-22. Under a minute to go in the second quarter. Falcons led by 10, and the Vikings now on an 8-0 run over the last few minutes. Alter feeds it inside for Natalie Hoff. That one is up and in. Natalie Hoff catches it right under the bucket, and an easy kiss off the glass there. 26-22. Jamaica gets it out to Oberg. About a 4-second differential between shot and game clock here. This is Riley Dykstra in the corner, being guarded by Alter. Gets it in the post to Jamaica. She steps back, puts it up over Weatherspoon, and leaves it short. And the Falcons will have the final possession here of the second quarter. 26-22 they lead. Buren a deep 3 from the left wing, and it's good. Hunter Buren knocks down a 3 at the buzzer, and the Falcons take a 7-point lead into the locker room at halftime. Buren, her first 3 points of the ball game, and the Falcons lead it at halftime, 29-22 over the 5th-ranked Western Washington Vikings. Their fans looking a little shell-shocked, but we still have a whole half of basketball to play. Falcons redeemed themselves quite well, acquitted themselves quite well in the first half, and they lead by 7 at the break, 29-22. We'll be back in a couple of minutes on the SPU webcast. We will recap the first half for you. Later on in the halftime break, we will take a look around the GNAC and see what's going on in other games tonight. We'll be back with you shortly. 29-22 SPU at halftime. Welcome back inside Royal Broham Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. We're at halftime, and the Falcons leading the Western Washington Vikings, who are ranked number 5 in one poll, number 6 in the other, depending on which one you're looking at. But the Falcons, a solid first half, and it ends on a three-pointer by Hunter Beeren to beat the buzzer. Overall, as a team, the Falcons shooting 41% from the floor and holding the Vikings to 35%. Both teams have knocked down 4 threes. The Falcons 4 of 9, the Vikings 4 of 11. So that's a 44% for the Falcons, 36% for the Vikings. And both teams perfect at the free throw line, but the Falcons have only been there once. Vikings have been there 4 times. And Falcons actually end up out-rebounding the Vikings 15-14. They were down a few at the end of the first quarter in rebounds, but up by 1, 15-14 at halftime. The Vikings turned it over 9 times in the first half, and the Falcons 5 times. And points off turnovers, Falcons had 9 and the Vikings had 5. Individually, the Falcons really able to pretty much hold Brooke Walling in check, relatively speaking. 5 points, 4 rebounds for her, and she had a block and a steal as well. 8 points from Avery Dykstra. She had a couple of threes, and she has a rebound as well. 5 points from Mason Oberg, including 2 at the free throw line and one three. So a three and 2 free throws, adding up to 5 points for her. Truett Riley, 4 points, 4 rebounds for the Vikings as well off the bench. And for the Falcons, it is Kiara DeVirgilio leading them in scoring with 6 points. A couple of threes off of glass, both of them. And they get 5 points each from Anna Eddy and Ashley Alter. Alter chips in 3 rebounds as well. And Falcons just playing solid team basketball here in the first half. And they are leading the Vikings by 7 at the break. As particularly in that second quarter, they held the Vikings to just 27% shooting from the floor. And they only shot 36% in that quarter themselves, but knocked down 3 threes. And outplayed the Vikings, particularly in the second quarter, as first quarter was 16-14 SPU, and the second quarter 13-8 in favor of SPU. So they lead 29-22 at halftime. We will step aside again here on the SPU webcast and be back with you shortly. We'll take a look around the GNAC and see who else is in action tonight. And we'll have that for you coming up in a couple of minutes. 29-22 Falcons at halftime.
Yeah.
Back inside Royal Broham Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you at halftime here as the Falcons lead the Vikings 29-22. Central Washington and Northwest Nazarene both off tonight, but everybody else in action around the GNAC. And Central Washington and Northwest Nazarene kind of middle of the pack. Central Washington fourth in the standings. And they took an earlier loss to SPU on December 31st on New Year's Eve when they were undefeated in GNAC play. But that was their first of 3 GNAC losses. Western Washington dealt them another one. Western Washington 7-0 on top in the GNAC, 13-1 overall. And St. Martin's defeated Alaska Fairbanks by a count of 71-63 earlier tonight. St. Martin's picks up just their second conference win, and Fairbanks drops to 1-7 in the conference, 4-11 overall. St. Martin's not a whole lot better at 2-6 in conference and 6-10 overall. Anchorage is at Western Oregon. That is a 7:30 p.m. tip, so they should just be getting going in that one. And Simon Fraser is at Montana State Billings. They will be here on Saturday. And the Vikings will be out at Billings on Saturday. Interesting that SPU and Montana State Billings are travel partners. That results in a long trip for the teams that come in on a Thursday or vice versa, playing Billings on Thursday and play here on Saturday. And Falcons will take on the Simon Fraser Red Leafs on Saturday. That's scheduled for 4:15. And the Vikings right after this one, not sure about right after, but they will make their way to Billings for a Saturday game. And Billings also 5-2 in the conference, as is SPU, both with Billings actually 14-4 overall. They just beat SPU last Saturday. SPU also 5-2 in the conference, 10-5 overall. Central Washington 5-3 in conference, 13-4 overall. And Anchorage also has double-digit wins overall in the season, 11-5. They're just 3-4 in conference play, and they did defeat SPU earlier, but they've had a rough go of it in the early going in the GNAC. Expect to see them finish near the top, though. When all is said and done, still a lot of GNAC basketball left to be played. After this weekend, everyone will have played 9 GNAC games, and so there will be 9 more to go. But getting near the halfway point in the GNAC schedule, of course, these two teams are going to play each other up in Bellingham on February 18th, and we'll see if the Vikings are trying to avenge a loss or the Falcons are. But 29-22 your score right now at halftime. Falcons over the Vikings. And we just have a few minutes left before we get the second half underway. We'll step aside again here on the SPU webcast and get you set for second half action shortly. 29-22 Falcons at the break. Welcome back inside Royal Broen Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SVU webcast. Falcons with a 29-22 lead over the Western Washington Vikings at the break. And we are getting ready for second half action coming up shortly. We'll see what was said in the locker room by both coaching staffs and how they motivated their teams to come out and play coming up in the second half shortly. Falcons taking on a nationally ranked opponent for the sixth time this year, and they actually have 2 wins out of those 5 games as they defeated Azusa Pacific on the first weekend of their schedule. And then they beat Central Washington here on New Year's Eve. And Central Washington was just coming in on a tear coming into that game, and the Falcons shut them down. Trying to do the same here tonight against Western Washington, but the Vikings with other ideas. We'll see how this goes here coming up in a few seconds as we get ready for second half action. Both teams with their original starting 5 on the floor.
All right, fans.
And it is going to be Falcons basketball to begin the third quarter.
SVU has the basketball.
As the Vikings got back within 2 late in that second quarter, and then the Falcons finished on a 5-0 run to push it back out to 7. Falcons with possession. Here's Anna Eddy, blocked by Walling. She gets it back, gets it to Maya Hoff. Walling with the length there. Here is Natalie Hoff being guarded by Walling. Alter drives, pulls up from the free throw line, leaves it short, and actually did not draw iron on that one. Katrina Jamaica the rebound. And here come the Vikings with their first possession of the third quarter. Riley Dykstra feeds Jamaica down low, puts it up and in. She got position and turned to the bucket and laid it up and in, 29-24. Falcons with it the other way. Natalie Hoff to Alter. Here's Eddy turning around and just a little too strong. And the Vikings with the rebound coming the other way. Oberg with it. Drives. Oberg gets all the way to the bucket, lays it up and in. And the Vikings quickly close it to 3, 29-26. A couple of buckets for the Vikings on their first 2 possessions here in the third quarter. Maya Hoff will get it to Hunter Buren. Natalie Hoff now back to Buren. Buren drives to the bucket, lays it up and in. Got all the way to the rack with no resistance. And Falcons up by 5 again, 31-26. 8:20 to play. Jamaica steps between a couple of Falcons, couldn't get the shot to go. Rebound comes down to Buren. Falcons the other way. Buren sends it out to Natalie Hoff. She steps back, puts it up over Walling. That one misses. Maya Hoff with the rebound, and Jamaica ties her up. And it'll be a held ball going the other way.
And it is going to Western.
As Western has it on the alternating possession. So they take over with just under 8 to play in the third quarter, trailing by 5, 31-26. Avery Dykstra sends it to Oberg, and now Walling gets in deep, kicks it out for Riley Dykstra. That one off the mark, tapped around. Natalie Hoff will come down with the rebound and hand it off to Maya. Here's Hunter Buren driving, and Walling may have gotten a piece of it. Altered the shot anyway, but Natalie Hoff is there to clean it up and put it back home, and the Falcons back out to a 7-point lead. Natalie Hoff with 6 points. Here's Walling over Natalie Hoff. That one is good. Walling using that length, 6'3", long arms, and able to put that one in, giving her 7 points for the ball game. Falcons with possession again, 33-28. They hold the lead. Buren for Natalie Hoff, a deep 2, and that one's off the mark, but Buren is right there for the offensive rebound, and the Falcons maintain possession. Alter steps back, puts up a 3, misses badly, and that one out of bounds. And that will go back to the Vikings.
Western ball in for the Vikings, number 21,
Truett Riley
number 12,
and Stephanie Peterson in for the Vikings, and Lolo Weatherspoon in for the Falcons. And the Vikings trying to cut into a 5-point lead now, 33-28. And Weatherspoon got that was Weatherspoon got a hand in there, knocked it away momentarily from Riley. This one over the top for Walling, and she goes around Alter and puts it in off the glass for 2. Brooke Walling with 9. And a couple of those here in the last couple of minutes. 33-30, Falcons lead by 3. Here's Hunter Beeren. Driving, stops, kicks it to Alter on the right wing. Ashley Alter drives. And they call her for traveling. They said that either on the start there or shuffled the feet. And they give it back to the Vikings. Kiara De Virgilio will check back in for Ashley Alter. 6 minutes to play, third quarter. Falcons by 3. Here's Riley. Gets it to Walling. And now Riley Dykstra is going to take the shot from about 15 feet out, and she puts it in. They left her some space, and she makes them pay for it. First 2 points for Riley Dykstra. Here's Hunter Beeren, throws up a wild shot trying to reverse it and did not draw iron. And the Vikings take the rebound the other way, looking for the lead. Riley Dykstra feeds it out to her sister Avery. 3 on the way, and that one's off the back iron, no good. Rebound to Beeren. Falcons back the other way as we tick down toward 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Falcons holding a 1-point lead now, 33-32, as the Vikings are on a 6-0 run. Here's De Virgilio cutting to the bucket, and Peterson, I believe, got a piece of that one. And here come the Vikings back the other way. Riley Dykstra for Brooke Walling. Cross court for Peterson. She'll step out. Now in the corner for Riley Dykstra. Riley backing in on Weatherspoon. Couldn't get the shot to go. Gets her own rebound. Puts it back up. Puts it in. And will head to the free throw line. Vikings have retaken the lead. And Truett Riley will head to the free throw line to try to add another point. Weatherspoon, actually that's Beeren called for the foul. And that is her second foul. Riley with 6 points, looking for 7 at the line. When we come back, timeout on the floor, 34-33 now. Vikings in front of the Falcons, 4:32 to go third quarter. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion. It is a battle here as the Western Washington Vikings have retaken the lead, 34-33. Good defensive struggle tonight as Falcons now shooting 35% overall for the game, and the Vikings up to 43%. And they now lead by a point. Truett Riley heading to the free throw line. Rebounding even at 21 apiece in this one. Brooke Walling leading the Vikings with 9 points, and now Truett Riley putting in the free throw. Gives her 7 for the Vikings, and they lead 35-33. Skylar Berry back in for SPU. She played some solid minutes in the first half. And Weatherspoon had it knocked out of bounds, they say. And so the Falcons will keep it. As Carly Zaragoza will check in.
Carly Zaragoza, replacing Brooke Walling, number 15.
And she replaces Walling. Here's Weatherspoon with it. Gets it to Eddy. Eddy kicks it out to Weatherspoon. She drives to her left, puts it up, and that one off the rim, no good. Rebound to Avery Dykstra. And here come the Vikings with a 2-point lead. Riley Dykstra in the paint to Riley, and she's fouled by Weatherspoon.
This time the foul goes against number 10, Lolo Weatherspoon.
Weatherspoon picks up her second foul.
And the second team
4
foul
minutes
out of
even
bounds.
to go in the third quarter. And Mike Simonson's going to get Natalie Hoff back in
for the Falcons.
for Weatherspoon.
Natalie Hoff.
So Hoff,
replacing Lolo Weatherspoon.
Natalie Hoff and Skylar Berry both on the floor here for the Falcons. They go with a little bit bigger lineup. Here's Zaragoza getting to the bucket and off the mark and loses it out of bounds. Falcons will take it back. Zaragoza was right there at the rim, and that one did not go down for her. We get a whistle, and not sure why they stopped play here with 3:47 to go. They'll give the ball to the Falcons. May have been an inadvertent whistle. It didn't really seem like they called anything there. But Falcons with it. De Virgilio for Berry in the post. And Berry going around Zaragoza. And Skylar Berry's got 6 points in the ball game. We're tied back up at 35. The Dykstra sisters. This is Riley with the spin move and over the glass, or over the rim, and pulled out of there by Anna Eddy. She's off and running the other way. Eddy gets to the bucket and loses it. May have had it knocked away. It's going to be out of bounds off the Vikings, though. And so the Falcons will keep it with 3:05 to go in the third quarter. We're tied at 35. De Virgilio will inbound. She had a couple of threes in the first half. Quick three by Anna Eddy, pops in and out. And here come the Vikings the other way. Peterson cut off by Buren. Move it around the perimeter. Eddy got a piece of it there, but Riley Dykstra able to hang on to it. And now it's taken away. Eddy ends up with it. And the Falcons back the other way. Hunter Buren to Natalie Hoff. Buren had it knocked away by Peterson, out of bounds. It'll stay with the Falcons with 16 on the shot clock. Ashley Alter will check back in. And Maddie Granbois in for the Vikings.
Riley Dykstra and Kara De Virgilio out for the Falcons.
Alter gets it in to Buren. And now she'll take it back. 10 on the shot clock. Alter to Hoff. Thought about a three. Steps inside and runs into traffic. Kicks it out to Eddy. Now tried to get it into Berry, and they were running out of time anyway, but the Vikings come away with the ball. Granbois goes to the floor and lost it out of bounds. And slow to get up. It looked like she tripped over a Falcon player, but did not get the call there. And the Falcons will have it back with 2:12 to go in the third quarter. Tied at 35. Hunter Buren across midcourt. Gets it to Berry. Here's Eddy now. Eddy in the post to Buren, or to Berry rather, and she's fouled by Zaragoza.
Western foul number 34, Carly Zaragoza. First foul, first team foul.
1:55 to go, third quarter. That's just the first team foul on the Vikings in the quarter. Not a lot of fouls in this game. Good defense. And here is Skylar Berry getting in the post, lays it up and in. Skylar Berry, good finishing around the rim on the last couple of buckets for her. And she has the Falcons back in front by 2, 37-35. Berry on the floor now, and Grandbois gets to about 8 feet out, pulls up and puts it in, and we're tied at 37. Eddie feeds Berry in the post. Being guarded by Zaragoza, kicks it out for Eddie. Eddie to her right, out for Alter. 10 on the shot clock. Alter spins, puts it in. Ashley Alter, the turnaround jumper, and the Falcons lead by 2. Alter with 7 points in the game. This has been a defensive battle, but some good shot making as now Anna Eddy gets in there and ties up Maddie Grandbois. And on the alternating possession, the Falcons will take it back. Mason Oberg and Brooke Walling back in for the Vikings. And the Falcons have it with 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. And a 39-37 lead for SPU. Here is Hunter Buren across midcourt. Being guarded by Oberg. Gets it to Natalie Hoff. Back to Buren. Buren going to drive through a couple of players and loses it. And here come the Vikings the other way. Peterson out in front of everybody else. Lays it up and in. And we're tied back up at 39. Buren across midcourt. Shot clock off. As the Falcons can hold for the remainder of the third quarter if they like. Skylar Berry being guarded by Brooke Walling now. And here's Alter going over Walling. Couldn't get it to go. Eddie there puts it back up and in. And the Falcons lead it by 2 again. And the Vikings unable to get a shot off at the end of the third quarter. Anna Eddy with a big bucket there as she now has 7 points in the ball game. And the Falcons lead it 41-39 going to the fourth quarter. This is a great women's college basketball game you're seeing tonight here inside Royal Brown Pavilion as two GNAC foes go toe-to-toe. Falcons lead it 41-39 after 3. We'll be right back in just a moment. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you. Fourth quarter coming up here, and the Falcons lead the Vikings by 2 points, 41-39. The Vikings able to make up 5 in that quarter as they outscore the Falcons 17-12 in the third quarter. A lot of the statistical categories going slightly the way of the Falcons. Not shooting percentage, as the Vikings are shooting 44%, Falcons 38%. But Western with the ball. The Falcons leading the Vikings in assists. Vikings have turned it over more times than the Falcons have. Here's Oberg, an open 3 from the left wing, and that one's off the mark. Rebound, though, is knocked out of bounds. And the Falcons will take it back. Last touched by Western. The Vikings leading in blocks 6-2, but they've turned it over 12 times, have the Vikings, and the Falcons have turned it over 8 times. In the first quarter, really, the Vikings had their most sloppy quarter. I believe they turned it over either 6 or 7 times in that first quarter. Here's Natalie Hoff, and she walked the basketball. Almost got away with the Euro step there. And got that one up on the rim. It did not go in. Vikings with it the other way, trailing by 2, looking to tie or take the lead. Mason Oberg will get it out to Riley Dykstra. In the post, Walling, and that one's up and in, and Skylar Berry commits the foul. Walling with 11 now in the ball game. And Skylar Berry commits her second foul. Berry was trying there to prevent the bucket, but Brooke Walling a little too strong. Gets it in and gets to the line and puts in the free throw. So the Vikings back in front now. Walling averaging 14.6 points a game and 10.1 rebounds, averaging a double-double. And an average free throw shooter, 65% coming into the game. Here's Ashley Alter and leaves that one just short. Walling with the rebound. But Brooke Walling near the top of the conference in a lot of statistical categories individually. Here's Oberg. Gets it to Peterson. And she's going to get called for pushing off. And it'll go the other way. Anna Eddy and Hunter Buren back in for the Falcons. And it'll be Avery Dykstra back in for Western Washington. They lead by a point with 8:21 to go in the ball game, 42-41. Buren across midcourt, hands to Eddy. Alter with it on the left wing. Eddy in the corner. We'll get it to Skylar Berry. She'll get underneath and can't do anything there with Brooke Walling guarding her. Here's Alter, though. Will turn around, put it in. Ashley Alter, the turnaround jumper. And she's got 9 points in the ball game. Falcons retake the lead. And the official may have gotten in the way slightly there, but he's going to rule that Riley Dykstra lost it out of bounds. As I think it just hit the sideline there. The official was right there, and I think he may have helped cause the turnover there, but it is a turnover back to the Falcons. 7:40 to go in the game. SPU leads by a point, 43-42. Buren. And Buren down to the floor there, kind of got tangled up. And it's going to stay with the Falcons. And Hunter Buren is just fine. The way she kind of fell for a second there, it looked pretty awkward. 8 on the shot clock. Buren gets it back, goes to the bucket, and couldn't get it to go. But she will head to the free throw line with 7:25 left. And Hunter Buren had the 3 to end the first half. Stephanie Peterson back in for Mason Oberg for Western. And Hunter Buren now 5 points in the ball game to the free throw line and misses on the first. And that is the first miss at the free throw line for either team in this game. Not that there have been a lot of free throws shot in this game, as Buren will get a second one, and that one rattles out as well. And Falcons, the free throws were kind of the bugaboo in the game, but right before Christmas, so about a week before Christmas against Stanislaus State. And they do not want to let that bite them again. Riley had it poked away, but Vikings now with Peterson with it. Gets it to Avery Dykstra for a 3, and that one rims off. And the Vikings come down with the offensive rebound and keep possession. Avery Dykstra had it knocked away, and they're going to get a foul called here on Alter.
Falcons foul number 22, Ashley Alter, her first.
That is her first.
And the second team foul.
Natalie Hoff will come back in for Skylar Berry.
Western inbound.
A non-shooting foul, so the Vikings going to inbound it with 20 on the shot clock. Riley, or Avery Dykstra rather, gets that one up on the rim and it rattles home. And the Vikings back within a point, 44-43. Falcons now with the 2 Buren misses, 1 of 3 at the free throw line. And they just had 1 earlier. And the Vikings a perfect 6 for 6. So not a ton of free throws shot in this game. Natalie Hoff goes around Brooke Walling with the scoop shot and puts it in and puts the Falcons back up by a point, 45-44. Walling in the post, being guarded by Hoff. Alter steps into the passing lane. She's going to have an easy lay-in as they were trying to get it to Stephanie Peterson, and Alter right in front and had an easy lay-in. Alter now with 11 points in the ballgame. Falcons by 3. Riley Dykstra heading to the free throw line. Make that Avery Dykstra, rather, as she draws the foul.
14 to the Falcons, Hunter Buren, 3rd foul.
And that's going to be Hunter Buren's 3rd foul.
Coming.
And there will be free throws coming here as they do rule it a shooting foul. And so Avery Dykstra to the free throw line. And she puts in the first. That gives her 11 for the ball game. And she will have another one here. This one rattles home as well. Avery Dykstra, 81% at the line coming into the game. And 8.1 points per game for the senior from Everson. As she gets the Vikings back within a point, 47-46. Here's Natalie Hoff handing off to Ashley Alter. Alter thought about shooting it. Gets it to Hunter Buren instead. Now Natalie Hoff over Brooke Walling, and she misses it. Maya Hoff there to clean it up, though. And the Falcons maintain possession. Anna Eddy was trying to cut to the bucket, and she gets fouled by Truett Riley. Riley commits her first foul. And both teams now 3 team fouls here in the 4th quarter. This one tight. 47-46 Falcons, and Eddy hits the side of the glass with that one, but gets her own rebound. And the Falcons keep possession. Eddy was trying to hit from the corner, and now the other corner, and we get a whistle. They say Alter pushed off. And we'll go the other way. Alter picks up her 2nd foul. Maddie Granbois back in for the Vikings, as well as Mason Oberg. 5:04 to go. Falcons by a point, 47-46. Vikings trying to retake the lead on this possession. Granbois being guarded by Eddy. Granbois drives, and a whistle on the floor, and a push-off called on Anna Eddy. Third foul on Anna Eddy. That'll take us to our final media timeout of the game. Don't expect it to be our final timeout of the game. This one tight down to the wire. Hopefully, we still got 4:50 to go, but it is a tight basketball game here. Falcons lead it 47-46. We'll be right back on the SB webcast. Back inside Royal Broham Pavilion. This has been a tight basketball game pretty much throughout. The Falcons did open up a 10-point lead at one point in the second quarter, but that was the only time that either team had a double-digit lead, and it was short-lived. As now Maddie Grandboyce going to the free throw line here with the Falcons in front by a point. But Grandboyce, if she can hit a couple of free throws here, would put the Vikings back in the lead. She does tie it up. And she is 80% at the free throw line on the season, just 4 of 5 for the entire season. But knocks down both here. So now she's 6 of 7 at the line on the season. And more importantly, the Vikings have the lead back at 48-47. Here's Maya Hoff getting it to Natalie Hoff along 2, and that one over the rim. No good. Rebound to the Vikings. Truett Riley handing off to Avery Dykstra. And the Vikings with a 1-point lead in the front court with possession. Walling, cross court for Grandboyce. She'll get it to Avery Dykstra. Here's Oberg. Walling to Grandboyce again. 6 on the shot clock. Oberg going to take a 3, and that one rims out. Rebound to Natalie Hoff. And the Falcons look to take the lead back again. Under 4 to play now. Anna Eddy cutting to the bucket, and Grandboyce got in there. And if she didn't get a piece of it, she did force a hurried shot there from Eddy. And the Vikings with the rebound the other way, leading by a point. Riley, a deep 2, and that one is good. Truett Riley gets the Vikings to 50 for the game, 50-47. 3:30 to go in the ball game. Riley with 9 in the game. Here's Hunter Beeren. She will drive, scoops it up, and too strong. Grandboyce the rebound. Falcons need to buckle down here and not let this one get away from them. Here's Avery, Riley Dykstra. No, I had it right the first time. That was Avery. Getting under the bucket. Here's Grandboyce. Maya Hoff gets a hand in there. Can't get it away. Riley puts it up and was trying to beat the shot clock buzzer and did not draw iron. Falcons with a good defensive possession there. And they'll get it back with 2:47 to go. Stephanie Peterson back in for the Vikings. Skylar Berry back in for the Falcons. 2:47 to go, and the Vikings leading by 3, 50-47. Falcons trying to get back within a point or tie the game, depending on whether they cash in on a 3 or get a 2 anyway. Alter, and Mike Simonson's going to take a timeout with 2:32 to go in the game. Talk things over with his squad. 50-47, Vikings by 3. And this will be a full timeout, so we will step aside on the SPU webcast. We'll be right back, though. 50-47, Vikings over the Falcons. Getting late, 2:32 to go. .232 to go in the ball game. Western Washington a 3-point lead over Seattle Pacific as Ashley Alter gets ready to inbound rather. And Not a lot of free throws have been shot in this game, but Western Washington a perfect 10 of 10 at the line, and the Falcons just 1 of 3. So they have really not gotten to the line much at all. And Hunter Beeren missed a couple. But no matter now, Skylar Berry puts one up on the rim, couldn't get it to go, and it's going to go to the Vikings. As actually they're going to call a foul here on Hunter Beeren. That'll be the 4th on Beeren. Kiara De Virgilio will come back in for Beeren. And actually, no, Beeren's going to stay on the floor. Anna Eddy's going to come out. Riley Dykstra in for Stephanie Peterson. And she'll come over, have a word with her coach, Carmen Dolfo. As Truett Riley heading back to the free throw line where she made a couple a moment ago, and she gets another one here. Riley, as I mentioned a moment ago, 81% from the line coming in. Misses on the second. And a whistle on the rebound. Maddie Granbois commits a foul. That is the 4th team foul on Western. SPU has 5 here in the 4th quarter. They trail by 4. And Ashley Alter needing to get a bucket and just missed it as that one just rolls off. But she will head to the free throw line. A couple of big free throws coming up here for Ashley Alter, the 5th-year player from Stanwood, Washington. And Alter with 11 points in the ball game. 2:05 to go in the game. Falcons down 4. And Alter misses on the free throw off the iron. Ashley Alter coming into this one, 77% from the line, averaging 15.2 points per ball game, and gets the second one to go. 3-point game, Western with the lead. 2 minutes to go. Here's Avery Dykstra. Into the front court, hands off to her sister Riley. Back to Avery on the right wing, being guarded by De Virgilio. Here's Riley, Truett Riley. Not Riley Dykstra, and she is blocked by Skylar Berry. Big block, and here come the Falcons the other way. Hunter Beeren feeding it to Berry as she goes to the other end and lays it up and in. Berry with the block on one end and the bucket on the other. A minute and a half to go, and the Falcons within a point, 51-50. Vikings with Avery Dykstra at the controls. Gets it to Granbois. And they work it around to Riley Dykstra. She's fouled by Ashley Alter. A minute 17 to go. 3rd foul on Alter, who's got 12 points in the ball game. And that's going to send Riley Dykstra to the free throw line. Riley Dykstra, just 4 of 6 at the line on the season, 67%. Gets the first one to go here. And every free throw critical at this juncture. And Western now with a 2-point lead. Dykstra, second one up and good. All net on both. And the Vikings with a 3-point lead. Minute 10 to go. And Mike Simonson wants another timeout here. Minute 11. I called the minute 10 a little too quickly. Minute 11 to go in the ball game. And the Vikings with a 53-50 lead. The Falcons with possession when we resume play here out of the timeout. As I mentioned, the Falcons really have not been to the line a lot, but they are just 2 of 5 at the line. Western now 13 of 14. They just missed their first free throw a moment ago. Falcons actually have the edge in rebounding, 31-30, but the Vikings shooting 43% from the floor and the Falcons 37%. Vikings have turned it over 16 times and the Falcons just 10, but the points off turnovers really just favoring the Falcons by a point, 15-14.
Volleyball team, get them going over there. Here we go.
As the Falcons will inbound. Hunter Beeren in the post for Skylar Berry. And now Ashley Alter with it. Trying to drive on Riley Dykstra. Gets it into Berry. Puts it up and in. in and goes to the free throw line with 59 seconds to go in the ball game. Skylar Berry having a game here, 12 points and some big shots for the Falcons coming in off the bench. And Skylar Berry, they're all big right now, but a huge free throw here with 59 seconds to play. Up and in for Skylar Berry. And the foul there. Missed who they said it was on, but Skylar Berry now 13 points in the ball game. 53-53, 59 seconds to go in the ball game. Western taking a timeout now and talking things over as this one down to the wire. And a classic game here on a Thursday night in mid-January here inside Royal Brown Pavilion. These teams will do battle again in Bellingham in a month on February 18th. That'll be a Saturday. And Falcons taking the Vikings right down to the wire here at home. Falcons are 3-1 at home, 10-5 overall, and 2-0 in conference play at home, trying to keep that record intact. Vikings with the ball, though, and here is Avery Dykstra. Haley Marlowe on the floor guarding Avery Dykstra. They get it into Walling. Walling finds Riley Dykstra cutting into the lane, a little too strong, and Riley Dykstra gets her own rebound, has it blocked by Berry. 40 seconds to go. It'll stay with the Vikings. And it'll be Grand Boys to inbound for Western. Gets it into Avery Dykstra. Haley Marlowe went to the floor momentarily. Dykstra gets to the line as she's able to cut into the lane and draw the foul. And that one goes on Natalie Hoff. That is just her first foul. Dave Virgilio will come in for Haley Marlowe. They brought Marlowe in on defense to guard Avery Dykstra. And now Dave Virgilio in. Dykstra at the free throw line puts in the shot. And she will get another here. Avery Dykstra with 13 points in the ball game. Vikings with a 1-point lead, make it a 2-point lead. 55-53. Timeout again called by SPU. 35 seconds to go in the ball game. 55-53. Avery Dykstra 14 points. Western has not had to play a close game in a little while. As taking a look at their schedule, their last win was by 20. And they actually have not played a game that finished in single digits since December 16th against Hawaii Pacific. That was a 7-point win. And really the only loss this year was their first game to Azusa Pacific. And a lot of double-digit wins since then. They actually had 3 single-digit wins end of December or end of November, early, actually December 16th, their last time that they played a game that finished in single digits, but this one certainly will. As the Vikings with a 2-point lead, 35 seconds to go in the ball game. 55-53. The Falcons talking things over with their coach Mike Simonson. They will have possession in the front court. Both teams in the bonus.
Don't let up.
And the Falcons with a critical possession here. 35 seconds to go. Alter gets it into Hunter Beeren. Berry in the post. Berry looking for somewhere to go, gets it out to Alter. Alter feeds it in the post to Berry again. And she throws it away to Maddie Grandbois. And the Falcons going to have to foul here. And Dave Virgilio will foul Avery Dykstra. And a critical turnover there for the Falcons as the Western fans up on their feet, sensing things going their way here. 14.8 left, and Avery Dykstra to the free throw line where she just cashed in a couple a moment ago.
Fouls on number 11, Kira
DeVirgilio committing the foul there.
Coming up for
Avery Dykstra 4 for 4 from the free throw line. And 2 more here with 15.2 left in the ball game. Gets the first and has an opportunity now to make it a 2-possession game with just 15 seconds left. Dykstra second free throw is good. And the Western Washington Vikings lead by 4, 57-53. Falcons will take another timeout and try to draw up something that will get them a quick bucket. And they're going to have to foul to extend the game, obviously. But see if Mike Simonson wants to get a quick 2 or try to get somebody open for a 3 to cut the lead to down to 1. Either way, they're going to have to hope for at least 1 missed free throw. But if they can get it down to, they can get a 3, get it down to 1, they could still, Vikings could still make a couple of free throws, and the Falcons would still be able to tie it up with a 3. That's a lot that would have to happen in the next 15 seconds, though. And so we'll take it a step at a time. Here is Alter getting it into Buren. And Buren driving baseline and hit the net. DeVirgilio steps back, puts it up, and that one's off the back iron. Hoff had it poked away, and that's going to do it. As Avery Dykstra pulls down the rebound, gets fouled again by DeVirgilio. And Avery Dykstra will be back at the free throw line one more time. 6 of 6 from the stripe in the ball game, and Western Washington has cashed in their free throws here down the stretch. The Falcons led for a lot of this game and really had the Vikings on the ropes a couple of times. Dykstra makes the free throw, makes it a 5-point ball game. It's all for naught as there's just 2.8 seconds left. So this one actually rattles off, but no matter. DeVirgilio heaves one up at the buzzer, comes up short, and the Vikings hang on for a 5-point win, 58-53. Falcons really gave the Vikings all they could handle tonight, but they come up short. A couple of critical turnovers and some missed free throws in the fourth quarter. And the Vikings, the veteran team, they really buckled down in the fourth quarter and played well. And they come away with a 5-point victory. It was a 7-point margin for SPU at halftime. Vikings were down 2 entering the fourth quarter, and they win it by 5, 58-53. Avery Dykstra finishes with 17 points and missed her last free throw, but went 7 of 8 at the free throw line. A lot of those down the stretch. Let's take a look at the team stats here as the Vikings end up shooting 41% for the ball game. The Falcons 38%. Really not a huge difference there. From three-point range, each team only hit 4 threes in the game, and the Falcons took 2 less threes. They go 29% out there, and the Vikings go 25%. The free throw line, the big difference here in this one, particularly in the fourth quarter. The Vikings end up 18 of 20 from the free throw line, 90%, and the Falcons 3 of 6, 50% at the line. And not a lot of free throws shot by the Falcons, but not a lot of free throws made either. Not a ton missed, but they just didn't get to the line much at all in this game. And that makes a difference when the Vikings shoot 14 more free throws than the Falcons do and cash most of them in. Rebounding battle ends up going to the Vikings by 1, 33-32. The Vikings out-rebound the Falcons in this one. And there's a lot of time. If you look at the time with the lead stat category, the Falcons had the lead 21 minutes, almost 21 and a half minutes in this game, and the Vikings held the lead for over 12 minutes. So the Vikings or the Falcons really had the lead for more of the game than did the Falcons. Their last lead for the Falcons was at 47-46. Vikings were able to regain the lead then and take over down the stretch, the last few minutes of the ball game. Falcons end up with 12 assists and the Vikings just 7. They are the Vikings average 18.9 assists per ball game. Falcons hold them to 7 here in this game. And points in the paint, Falcons win that battle 34-22, but it goes to the Vikings by a count of 58-53. I mentioned Avery Dykstra with 17 points, 5 rebounds, 7 of 8 at the free throw line, had a couple of threes as well, and really turned in a complete game for Western Washington. Brooke Walling had 12 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks, and Truett Riley also in double figures with 10 points, including 4 or 5 at the free throw line. Truett Riley actually a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, and had a block and a steal as well. Vikings average 6.6 blocks per game. They get 6 in this one tonight. And the Falcons, a valiant effort, falls short. Skylar Berry, 13 points, some big buckets. Really at different times in the game, but a couple of big ones down the stretch. And she just played 19 minutes off the bench, went 6 of 9 from the floor, and 1 of 1 at the free throw line. She did have a big free throw late in the ball game. But Ashley Alter, 12 points. No other Falcons in double figures. Alter finishes with 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And Natalie Hoff, 8 points, 6 rebounds for the Falcons. And just not able to get a lot of consistent scoring from anybody. Some big shots made in the game, though, by SPU at different points in the game. And they fall short, though, by 5 to Western Washington. That is their second straight loss, and now they drop to 5-3 in GNAC play. They will have Simon Fraser coming up here on Saturday. That'll be a 4:15 p.m. tip-off. And the men will have Montana State Billings at 2 o'clock. So it'll be a doubleheader on Saturday. The men were off tonight. But the men are on a tear, the SPU men's basketball team. Vikings run their win streak to 14 in a row. They go to 14-1, and they go to 8-0 in GNAC play. So they keep that perfect conference record intact. And it was a battle tonight, but Western Washington prevails 58-53. They will head to Montana State Billings on Saturday, and Simon Fraser, who played there tonight, will be here for a 4:15 p.m. tip-off. We will have it for you on the SPU webcast. We're going to have both games, the men's game and the women's game. The men, again, playing Montana State Billings at 2, and then the women playing Simon Fraser at 4:15. Good battle tonight here, but the SPU falls just short by 5, 58-53 to the Western Washington Vikings. We will talk to you on Saturday. Have a good night.